Hello. So it seems I have some audio problem with my PC. Um, I have been trying so hard to solve it that it seems I need to restart my PC. Um, I don't know, for some reason it's creating conflict. So for the past 20
Hello.
minutes, I was really trying hard to
So it seems I have some audio problem
configure.
with my PC.
But for some reason my audio is not working well.
I
I'm
have
not
been
sure
trying so
you
hard
guys are hearing me or
to
something.
solve it, but it
I
seems
have
I
no idea.
need to restart my
So
PC.
mm,
Um, I
maybe
don't know, for
I
some
just
reason
try it a
it's
bit, and
creating
then
conflict. So for
if
the past
anyone
20 minutes,
is following
I was
this,
really
and
trying
if you
hard
let
to.
me
So
know
it
via
seems I have some
I
audio
don't know, via
problem
the comment
with my
section
PC, but
or
for some
something,
reason my
then
audio is not working well.
I may proceed.
I'm not sure
Otherwise,
you guys are hearing me or
I will
something, and
understand that
I have
nobody
no idea to
is
restart my
following
PC.
it, because
Maybe
I really don't know.
I just try
My
it a
audio
bit,
is
and
not
then
working for some reason.
if anyone
It's just
is
I don't know.
following
I
this,
haven't
and if you
restarted the
let me
PC
know via
for quite a while,
I don't know,
and
via
now
the
it
comment
seems I
section
have some
or something,
audio
then
problem, and it's telling
I
me
may
that I
proceed.
need to
Otherwise,
restart it. But I don't want to restart it
I
now
will
because
understand that nobody
I wanted
is
to
following it,
start
because
at this moment,
maybe I just
but I really
audio
don't
is not
know.
working for some reason.
Yeah.
It's just
So
I
if
haven't
anybody of
restarted the
you,
PC for
if you are hearing
I don't
this
know, for
voice,
quite a while.
then
It seems I
let
have
me know.
some
Then I can
audio
proceed.
problem, and
Otherwise,
it's telling me that I need to
yeah,
restart it,
I need
but
to
I don't want to
stop it.
restart it now because I
I had a plan to do
wanted
some data
to start
manipulation with dplyr
at this moment,
for about
but I
20
really
30
don't know.
minutes.
Yeah.
But
So
I was just coming
if
to
anybody
home
of
and
you,
I tried to
if you are
use
hearing this
my
voice,
laptop to stream this,
then let me know.
um,
Then I can
but
proceed.
it doesn't
Otherwise,
seem to work. It's just
yeah, I
my
need to stop it.
OBS. I use OBS
I had a plan
Studio
to do
for
some data
streaming,
manipulation with dplyr
but it
for
seems
about 20 30
my
minutes.
audio
Yeah, so
is
if
not really
you,
working. But if anybody of
if you are
you who
hearing
are
this
hearing
voice to
this,
stream this,
if you
I can
if you
proceed.
let
But
me know
it
that you
doesn't
are
seem to
hearing this,
work.
and then
It's just my
I can simply proceed.
OBS. I
Otherwise,
use
I will
OBS Studio
yeah,
for
I will need to
streaming,
stop it and
but it
maybe do
seems
it in another session.
my audio is not really working. But if anybody of you who are hearing this,
Hmm.
if you let me know that you are hearing this, and then I can simply proceed. Otherwise, yeah, I will need to stop it and maybe do it in another session.
Okay, maybe I need to check it on my phone. I will just okay.
Hmm. If you let me know that you are hearing this, and then I can simply proceed.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Oh yeah,
yeah, I will need
yeah.
to
It
stop it
seems it's working.
and
Okay.
maybe do it in another session.
Yeah. Then if you are able to
Maybe
hear
I
me,
need to
I think it seems
check
my
it on my
audio output
phone.
is not working, but it's
Just
the input is working obviously because I was just checking it on my mobile phone, and it's I can hear my own voice.
okay.
So
Oh yeah,
I think today what
yeah.
I
It
would like
seems
to
it's
do is
working.
like data manipulation with
Okay.
dplyr. I wanted to
Yeah.
show you
Then if you are able to hear
some
me,
really
I
important
think it seems my
verbs
audio output
that
is
you
not
need
working,
to
but it's
use in
the
when you
input is
use
working
when you
obviously
need
because
to
I was just checking it
manipulate
on my
your
mobile
data.
phone,
So
and
for
it's
today,
I can
I
hear
want
my
to
own
create a
voice.
new script. Let me summarize
So
what we did last
oh
week.
yeah,
If
I
you
think
remember,
today what
last
I
week
would like to do is like data manipulation with dplyr.
we did some
I wanted to show you
data
some
manipulation. We were reading data
really
from
important
different sources like
that you
Stata,
need to
SAS,
use in
or directly
when you need
from the
to
web.
manipulate
We were
your
also
data.
reading.
So for today, I
Yeah,
want to
we were
create a
also
new script.
I was giving you
So
some important
I think
comments like
today what I would like
if
to
you
do
want
is
to
like
save
data
your
manipulation
the
with
whole
dplyr.
your
We
analysis,
did some
you can just simply save
data
image,
manipulation. We were
and then if you want to load
reading
it, you
data
can
from
use load.
different sources
And then
like
we
Stata,
were doing
SAS,
some yeah some
or
kind of
directly from when you need
data
to
analysis like
manipulate
descriptives
your
and how
data.
you recode your variables
Yeah,
and
we
so on
were
and so forth
also
and so forth.
giving you. I was
But
giving you some
these are
important
really
comments like if you
yeah
want to
some
save the
base
whole
are
your
functions.
analysis,
It's
you can
good to
just
know them
simply save
if you
image,
are
and then if you want
yeah
to
if
load it, you
you
can use load.
I mean,
And
as a
we
start,
were
they are good,
doing
but
some
if you really want to dive deeper in data manipulation, like in creating new variables or in filtering your data, subsetting. I mean, for those kind of things, I think it's much nicer to use dplyr. For today, I will just need to create a new script, a new script. So for any of you who don't have dplyr, you can just install it using install package command. So I can simply type install package package and then dplyr. But because I already have it, if you don't have it, you can install it. But if you have it, you can keep this, and then instead you can simply load it. To load the library, you can simply use the library and then dplyr. That's how you load it, and simply you run it. So now I already have my dplyr. But because I already have it, if you don't have it, you can install it. But if you have it, you can keep this, and then instead you can simply load it. Okay. To load the library, you can simply use the library and then dplyr. But why? That's how you load it, and simply you run it. So now I already have my dplyr. But because I already have it, oh yeah, I must have made some, I don't know, some spelling error, but I don't know, now it's working. And if you want to see what dplyr is, you can simply check this dplyr. That means it's letting us know some help functions, so you can see what is dplyr and who wrote it, and it's written by Hadley Wickham, and then you can have some. I must have made. But if you want to see more of dplyr help functions, then you can simply go to this page, and then you can have a clear overview of what dplyr is. So for today, what dplyr can do is there are some popular verbs in dplyr. One is select, to select variables that you want. For example, if you just want to deal with sex and other variables, let's say age, then you can simply use sex. I mean, you can use select. You can use select to filter by columns. I mean, to identify, to select only the columns that you want, or the variable that you want. The other verb is filter, and that's to subset your data. And then there is also summarize. Then you can simply, if you want to summarize your data, and then the other one is like mutate. I mean, to identify, to select only the columns that you want, or the yeah, we will come to the others. There are also other variables that we need to, other verbs. So filter, select, summarize, mutate, group by, arrange. This is another verb. That's arrange, and then group by. That's also another important verb that you really need to work with if you are working with dplyr. So you really need to know the function of all of these verbs. So for today, I would like to have a quick overview of this New York City, New York flights. I think it's available with New York City flights. I mean, New York City flights library. So I can simply run this, and then I can have access to this data. But it seems I don't have this package, so I can install it so that I can have access to this data, because it's really is a very good data to learn New York City flights. I mean, New York City flights. To learn dplyr, so I can just install it, and then afterwards I can load it, and then I can go on into my data manipulations. So now it's already installed. I can simply load it. So I can load it. Very good data and to learn dplyr. Yeah, now it's already there. So let me clear this, because I don't need any other object in my environment. And now if I go to head flights, I think that's flights data. So it's so if I do this, and then I need to have Yeah, it should show me some of the, yeah, so it's now any other object in my environment. It's really slow. And now if I go to head flights, I think that's flights data. So this data has this kind of structure. So you see year, month, that means I mean the departure, you know, the departure year and the month, and you have departure time and the scheduled time, scheduled departure time, departure delay, and arrival time. These are some some really, so this data has a few of the columns, but I think there are also others, 12 more variables. We can also see what are the other variables. Maybe we can have a look with Glimpse instead. Glimpse is also part of the deep lab, so you can see again the glimpse of your flights data. And a few of the glimpse is with P, so I can have a look at this. So it looks like this. So I have this type of data. So you see the year, the month, the day, departure time, scheduled departure, and all of these different variables, and these are the associated data points for each variable. So you see some of the variables are in character, but there are many of them with numeric or integer type. So we can so looking at this data, so we can see. So we have many columns. We have about, I don't know, 20, or maybe you can also check. N code, I think it's about I don't know, 17 or 18 or 19. Or maybe you can see dimension instead to see the number of observations. And so this is a very big data. So it's about 300 columns. Like 1/3 of a million and 19 variables. So it's a big data set. So but you can load it and work with it. So the first thing that you want to do probably is to filter rows. Let's say if I want to filter these flights that were all, let's say all flights that were flown. So the first this is pipe operator is called if you want to connect, let's say this is my data, and then I can connect it with the next word, and that's filter, let's say. So I want to subset this data because I would like to have only the flights that were that happened on January 1. Only on January 1, because we have a date, like you see, I have like a month, day, and then I want to see only flights that happen on January 1. So that means month equals 1, and equals 1, and day equals 1. So that's what I need. But I want to give it this data, January 1, let's say January 1. I want to see January 1 data, only flights data, January 1 flights. It's just to check how many people, I mean, the number of flights that happen on the beginning of the year. And now we have like 842 variables. So if you are interested only on this data, then this is what you need. So you flights, that's your data, your original data, and then you type it with this pipe operator. So you can simply type it by Control Shift plus M. So you can, I mean, typing it may be difficult if you just use cursor and then this greater than sign. Maybe it's kind of time taking. So for that, what you need is like you can simply type it by pressing your if you are on Windows. I'm on Windows. I don't know how it works in Mac, but you can simply type Control Shift and then M. So you can simply type it so quickly. So this is really important key. So to do that, what you need is Control plus Shift plus M. That's what you need. Sorry, this is not plus sign. So it seems my keyboard keeps changing to some kind of keyboard setting. So this is Control plus Shift plus M. That's what you need if you want to quickly type this type operator. So for me it's quick. I can just, because Control and Shift, they are next to each other, so it's easy to type them quickly. And then you just press M. So that's one of the verbs, like filter. So let's say if I want to filter, if you want to quickly type this, maybe this one is the flight name. Control and Shift, they are next to each other. Tell me. And okay, carrier. Let's say these are the carriers. Let's say if I want to filter data that flight data that were by carrier name B6, for example, or Delta. I think this is Delta or Delta Airways. I have my flight name, but it looks like Delta Airways. So maybe we are interested on only two. So we want to see this flight carriers. So what you need is flight data. Let's say let's give it carrier name B6, BL, for example, and DL, because we are interested only on flight carriers of BL and DL Airways. We are interested. And then what you need is you code your flight data and then type it with, and then you simply call filter. And then what you need is simply type your carrier. R knows it, so carrier. What you need is you can only on flight carriers of BL and DL Airways, and then what you need, you can connect it with end, no, or actually, because it's not end, BL or again carrier. R knows it, again carrier equals and then DL. You can connect it with, that's what you need. So that means now we will be able to filter only flights that were flown by these airways, at BL and DL. So if you look at this, and if you look at your data, whether it's correctly filtered, you can have a look. BL, so you see all of them are DL and BL. If we go at the very end, we should be able to find all the BL flights also. Okay, so it seems everything is DL at this, and if you look at your data, whether it's correctly filtered, you can have a look. BL. Maybe there is no BL. All of them are DL and BL. Okay. Oh, B6. That's B6. It's not BL. So we can simply change this. I made a mistake. So you can run it. So now we have more flights, 100,000 flights. It's taking a bit of time because it's a very large data set. So that means now we have all the flights data. So carrier, B6, and DL. So we have simply, it's just 2 lines of code, and with 2 lines of code we have subsetted our data to identify flights carried by like B6 Airways and DL, yeah, with this main airway. That's what you need with filter. Let's say if I want to filter again, because I want to check subsetted our data to identify again, maybe if you are interested with carried by again filtering by date, so you can simply again change this. Let's say if you are interested in October, that flight is in October, you can simply change months to 10 for example. I can simply change 10, and if I'm not interested with the date, I can simply change this, and then I can that means I can filter all the flights that happen only on October. So then you will have them. So that means I have it here. And or if you are mainly interested in flights, let's say that have tell me these are these filter all I don't know, some kind of identifier. And if you, this is like you know, when you fly, you always have this flight number. I think that should be the flight number. So if you are interested with this number, so you can simply pass it, and then yeah, so then you have already filtered your data based on that. But if we are also interested, we can also check, we can also include by, for example, and for example, you can connect it with logical operators. So if you are shift and then I can simply type distance, for example, you know, that are very long, for example. Tell num with this flight number, and then distance covering, I don't know, more than, for example, I don't know, 762 miles, for example. You can simply type this, and then greater than or equal to 762. For numeric characters, we don't need to put it in string. I mean, in quotation marks, you can simply put it because it's integer. But I mean numeric, so you don't need. So that means for this, I still need to replace this object as differently because it's not, they are not in January. They are mainly, I'm filtering data based on like tail num, like a flight number, and then by distance, covering distance in miles. So then I can simply type this at y, for example, but you can, so that means for this, I still need to replace number as differently because it's I can give it a different name. It's not, they are not number, and then distance, for example, and then I can simply run it. So I'm I already filtered my flight data, subsetted it by flight name. I mean that's a flight name, usually flight ID or something. That's usually it's identified by tail num. Then I'm identifying miles covered more than 762. So that means I have 100 flights for this specific, yeah, for this specific flight. Maybe, I mean, what you need to know is this, you know, this logical operators. So if I miles covered this more than 760, so that means I have 100 flights for this specific, yeah, for this specific flight. So this is what you need. So if you are interested in taking y but not x, so this is y and this is x. So I mean, and then if you want to filter the data that's this part of the region, then you have to use this kind of structure. So y and not x. That means not x. And then here, if you are interested on this part of the data, if you are interested in, so I mean, if you are like x and y, for example, if you use x and y, then that means you have taken the intersection, the intersection. Then you have to use that means x and y, and is the intersection. But if you use like x or y, that means x or y is all of it, like both of it. So I mean, so x or y, like x and what happens on both cases. But if you use x or xy, then that you are taking this part of the this Venn diagram. The other ones will be filtered out. X and y, and is the intersection. No, this one, this part will be filtered out, and you will be taking only this part of the Venn diagram. But if you are also using like x and not y, that means you x is here and y is here, so you are taking all x, all y's out, all of the y's out, and but you are only taking the x region. So that means all x's, that y doesn't touch any part of x. So that means all of this part will be filtered out, and you will be taking only this part of the data in your filter. So if you use this kind of coding, this might be a bit confusing, but if you, when you really working on it, it's simply clear because you know what you want. So that means all and it should be clear to use which Boolean operator that you have to use. And this one is if you want only y, that means you have x. X is here, and this is y. No, this is y, and this is x. So if you really want only y, that means all x's will be taken out, and then the region that X touches in Y will be filtered out. So that means you will only no, this is X and this is Y, so that means you will only take this part of the process. All X's will be taken out, but only the Y part will be filtered. And the same is true here. So if you have if you want only X, so you have X and you have Y here. So the region that only X part of this Venn diagram will be filtered out. I mean, will be filtered, but the other one will be filtered out. All X's will be. Yeah, that's what you need. But to be clear, I mean, this will maybe a little bit confusing at this moment, but otherwise it should be clear depending on what you are doing. So if you know what you want, you know what you need. Let's say if you really want only females, then you will only use female. But if you want females plus pregnant women, then you need to use AND. But if you want all females, all females, or let's say if you want, if you know your example, what you want, you know what you need. Let's look at our data. If you really want only females, then it's better to look at this example. So let's say if you want a flight of flight distance, I think this is again flight all females. Number of females, or let's say so if you see arrival time, arrival delay, maybe we can have some, yeah, okay, maybe we can take this minute time flight, I don't know, time minute, like depending on the distance. So you can have a look again, like data, that filter, so if you see flights, delay, flights, we have it. And then I can type it with, then filter. You can take this and once I have that, I can simply like depending on the check what I want to filter. For example, if I want to filter data based on tile name, tile name I already did. Maybe origin, so I can take origin equals. Where is the origin? For example, JFK. For example, flights that started from JFK airport. So JFK, and then I can again type it with, or for example, and then origin again, origin. Let's say if I want flights that originate from JFK or LGA, or maybe I don't know. Yeah, we can see EWR. Okay, I don't know where that airport is. And you can also use again comma, and then I can also use the other variables. For example, minute. That means okay, minutes, hour. This is if you. I think we need to connect these values so that you can. Yeah, you can calculate the total time. So that's later if you are if I can like we want to calculate the number of hours, then we need to use this data. But for filtering, I don't want to use this at the moment. So and then let's say origin JFK or EWR. And then maybe we can use end here. So that's later if you are okay. Maybe let's just use this one. So if we want only this part, that means flights that originate from JFK and EWR, we have already filtered it. So we have this much amount of flights. But we can also use like end operator to select other. Let's just use this other data if we want only this other observations based on the flights that originate from destination. And either let's say all flights that started from JFK or EWR flights and that ended up in I don't know, Atlanta, for example. This is Atlanta, I think. So test no, it should be here. That's the destination. Destination. All flights that started from JFK or EWR flights and that ended up in I don't know, Atlanta, for example. We take one off, I think. Then so dash should be here. The other one also. And then I can simply call my bracket again. I have this equals. Okay. Now it should be filtering. Yeah. Okay. So now I have this data. I just filtered my data by origin and destination, but I can also add if I want. If I want, I can also add, let's say, ATL, but not, I don't know, but not somewhere in other than Atlanta. Yeah, okay. So now I have, let's say, I can use this. I just filtered my all flights that didn't happen, that didn't land in Atlanta. So I can simply want. I can also add, let's say, okay. ATL, what is it saying? But not other unexpected somewhere in other than Atlanta. Yeah, okay. So dest, let's say I can use this Atlanta. I just filtered my all flights that didn't happen, that didn't origin, land either are and destination. So I can simply want. I can also add, let's say, okay. ATL is saying, like this. Yeah, unexpected probably. Yeah, okay. I interchanged the so with this so that means in my data you know, in this filter data I will not have any of the destination in ATL. So let's say if I go here, then if I look at my destination, I should not have any ATL in this part, but I'm not going to look at it. But maybe so that means in my do this. My data, maybe it's very large. I think I will not have any of the destination in ATL. So let's say if I go here, what did I look at that filter? Okay. Destination, I should not have any ATL in this part, but I'm not going to look at it. But maybe so that means so if I so it's really it's very large. So I think I will not have any of the destination in ATL. So I already filtered flights that started from JFK and EWR, JFK or EWR, and that landed in ATL. So that didn't land in Atlanta. But I can also add another another connector, and so I already filtered flights that started from JFK distance and EWR. So JFK the miles or EWR should be and that more than landed 2,000 maybe, let me say. So that didn't land in Atlanta. Distance, but I can also add another is greater than connector. 2,000 miles. So I already filtered flights that started from JFK distance. So now I have, okay, then I still have big data. Maybe if I put this, I don't know, 10,000 miles, maybe is greater than 2,000. Still, yeah, it's big. Okay, maybe if I put it like 30,000. So now I have, okay, then I still have big data. Yeah. Maybe if I put this, I don't know, 10,000 miles, maybe. Okay, it's running. Yeah, it's big. Okay, now I have this much amount, but if I go and see my distance, yeah, oh, okay, it didn't filter it. Okay, so it seems something is wrong here. Okay, it's running. See, what if I do this? Now I have this much amount, but if I go instead and see my distance, yeah, oh, okay, it didn't filter. Yeah, okay. So it seems something is wrong here. And let's say in the next one, maybe you can also filter it this way. Let's say the flights that
flew in 11th and 12th months. For that, let's say you can write November and December, flights that happened in November and December, filter. The next one, you can use flights. You can also use filter. Simply, you can call filter and then you simply write your data. This is the other way of doing it. And then months, because we have months in our variable, and then you see you can write percent in percent. So that means months happening in, and then you can simply write C at the 11th or maybe at first month. No, 11th month, 12 months, 12th, and then first. So let's say if you want, you can write January. Then you can simply have all flights that happen in November, December, and January. So if I run it, first month, yeah, I have this much number of observations, but you can also type another observation if you want, or connect it with another. And if I want, also for example, if I want based on arrival delay, which of the flights were delayed? Let's say delayed by more than 2 hours, for example. Then you can simply type like data, my delayed flights, delayed flights. And if I want, also for example, if I want flights, arrival flights, and then right of the flights, then filter. Let's say delayed by more than 2 hours. What I need is after that, I can simply write flights that happened that were delayed more than 2 hours. That means I need to, because it's written in minutes, so it's I can simply write arrival delay less than, greater than or equal to what I need is greater than or equal to 120 minutes. Then I can simply select, filter the variables, filter the observations or delayed flights, delayed by more than 2 hours. So you can have this. Now I have delayed flights, so that means about 10,000 flights were delayed by more than 120 hours. 120 minutes, sorry. You can also say filter arrival delay greater than 120 minutes, or you can also type departure delay. Let's say if the departure is delayed, if the arrival is, if the departure is delayed, obviously the arrival is also delayed. But you can also sometimes, let's say the departure is on time, but the arrival is late, probably for some reason that the flights should stay on air until they they find their turn or something. Maybe flights may be overturned or landed somewhere and stay for some time and things like that. So you can have that arrival delay, and then for that you can also departure delay, but the arrival when they start, maybe for some flights delayed by 120 minutes on air, say again. 120 minutes. So then you have already connected the two. For some time and then so you can have that arrival delay and error. So it's saying departure delay greater than or equal to in maybe 120 filter unexpected 120 minutes. Okay, sorry, I typed it twice. So I just need to remove this part. Now it should work. So now I have about 8,500 flights that were delayed by 120 minutes, 20 minutes when they start flying, departure, or when they land, they were also delayed by 120 minutes. The next thing, if I want to, let's say, filter, so now I have about 8,500 flights that were delayed by 120 minutes, 20 minutes. Maybe if I want when they start flying, else do I have again? Let me glimpse of this data because I don't really know the data very well. The next thing, if I want to of flights filter,
but it's kind of very good data to learn. Like these deep layer functions, it's also part of. I mean, it's frequently cited in data manipulation trainings, so it's really reasonable to use this because it's also very large data and it has many variables and a lot of observations. Maybe I can now start filtering by, let's say, select columns. If I want from all of the variables, the next the next verb is select. Select is to, let's say, select your columns, like your variables. If you want to select, for example, if I want to select only departure delay and some of the variables I want, I can now start filtering by, so what you need is select column. Again, let me all of the variables the next filter. Next verb is select. Select is subsetted. Let's say select subsetted. Your subset is also part of the R. So it's sometimes it's clever to use a name that's not really a function in R, so it's better to use a name that's more self-explanatory, or at the same time it's not competing with a function written within R. So let's say subset is already a base R function. So you see if subset. So if I call my data as subset, then I will have a problem with the name may compete with the already built-in function. So sometimes it's clever to use a name that's not competing with the function that you have. So if I want, flights, again flights, so if I type it with my pipe operator, and then I can simply use select, then I can simply use all the variables that I want. Let's say C, destination, and maybe origin. Maybe if I want, I can also use like arrival delay at the beginning. Maybe I can use this the flight number, like tell whom. All the variables that I want. Let's say because sometimes filtering is needed. Filtering the column and names is needed because when you have a lot of variables and you are not interested in all of them, then you may need to focus only on some of the other variables. And then you can have your analysis. So you can select, let's say in this case we are selecting only because sometimes filtering four is needed. Filtering so if I run this names is needed. Now I already selected this variables and you are not interested in only four variables. So this is the total observations that I have. One third of a million, four observations. So that's what you need. Subsetted data. Then you pass your name of your data, the original data, which is non-filtered, and then you can simply use select, tell me, and then destination. Now I can also connect this with filter. Let's say from this subsetted data. Let's say if I want filter, I can, you can connect multiple deep layer verbs in one. So you can select and then filter, and then at the end you can also group by and you can arrange. So you can use multiple deep layer variables in your deep layer data manipulation. But you always need this pipe operator. That means you are telling select. I mean, you take the data, select these columns, filter by these variables. So let's say, okay, arrival delay is mine, so that means I need to use, I cannot use departure delay because it's not part of my data. If I want it, I need to select it. Let's say here, I want to select it, and then I can use this filter here. So select this column. I can simply filter by this like this, and then run it. So I will only have from all of my variables, I can have only 8,480 observations or flights, and then 5 variables instead of 19 variables. I'm simply taking the the variables that I want, and then filtering by arrival delay and departure delay. let's say if I want if I want another declared verb, I can type it, and then simply you can also say arrange. I can arrange the data. Let's say maybe arrange is we can keep it for later, or I can also use it. But this is another verb that you need to know in deep learning. So let's ignore this part. Let's say if I want to the next step of our data manipulation. So then now arrange. So arrange is the next version. Arrange helps you to order, to order your data by a certain, by certain column values. Let's say ascending or descending. Let's say if you want to arrange flights data by chronology, like year, month, day. So then now by that you can arrange, let's say, chronology, order flights, flights, order your data by a certain, by and then flights, let's say ascending, then how. Now connect, now arrange, and then once you have arranged, you can simply type year, when was the flight, and then the month, when the flight happens, and then the day. Now I will have this, my flight will be arranged chronologically. So then you can simply run this. So if you look at it, it should be arranged exactly the way I want it. So now you see it started in 2013, and then again it's in 2013. All of the flights that happen, all of the flights they all happen in 2013. So this it starts from January 1, 2013. And it should finish in December 31. Yeah, December 31. It's finishing in December 31. It's 1 year data. So that's how you arrange. Let's say if I want to arrange, I can call the previous one and then connect it with my again type operator, and then I can simply use this here. Now I can have my subsetted data to be arranged. Let's say if I want to arrange, I can call. Oh yeah, I didn't select these variables. So, let me arrange it by I don't know, by arrival delay, for example. And then I can simply, because I don't have these variables selected in my original data. So let me select it. Let me arrange it rather by arrival delay. So you can select. Then so now my data is arranged in ascending order by arrival delay. So the maximum is 120 minutes. Yeah, and then I mean the minimum is 120 minutes, and then the maximum is 1,200. Let me arrange it. So this is how you filter. Then the next one is summarize. But I think my data is stop this session, ascending order, continue some other time. So yeah, so next we can continue about summarize and other different functions. But for today, I need to filter. Then thanks for following, and I hope you found this helpful. Thanks. Stop this session.